This is the Phillies POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Phillies POSTCAST on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzad. I got you covered for all your POSTCAST needs. Connor Thomas has you covered for each and every one of your daily podcasts with your Philadelphia Phillies. It's great to have you along for this ride. When you're up 6-0 after the top of the second inning, you kind of think you won't need your closer in this one. Oh, and then you need your closer in this one because that wasn't great. Now, the bullpen was fantastic. Max Lazar, unfortunately, just oh wow, that wasn't great. But bottom line for me, this marked the return of two big Phillies, one to the rotation, one to the lineup. On a day following your first game, as a matter of fact, with the 11:35 start time today, the morning following the news that came out last night, the awful news regarding Zach Wheeler, and look. Blood clots, 0. I heard people talking about it at this injury is really tough. I'm like, injury. This isn't like he sprained his ankle. This is a blood clot. The man has a family. Hey, you take all the time you need. Devastating as a guy that obviously still roots for this team to win ball games, but as a father and all of us as humans, Zach Wheeler, take all the time you need. This is terrible. God bless you, man. Nothing but good vibes your way. But on the news where just from a strict baseball standpoint, you're going to be losing a starting pitcher, a Cy Young caliber starting pitcher, you're going to be losing him for, probably he's done. For the rest of the season, he's done. You would like to see a guy who's coming out, making the next start, to say, hey, we're going to be okay. And you would like to see that guy be Aaron Nola, who hasn't pitched for you for about 2 months, come out here, 2-3 months, and come out here and go, hey, I got you. I'm going to handle this. And for 2 innings, he looked like he was going to handle it. And then one out into the 3rd inning, you went, oh, he's not going to handle this. This is going to be terrible. Making his way back from, the ankle injury, making his way back from a rib, a broken rib, whatever the hell that was. He comes back. He gets charged for 6 runs, all earned in 2 1/3 innings of work. 2 1/3 innings of work. He got shelled in that 3rd inning. I was begging for Rob Thompson to give him the early hook. And when I say earlier than even 2 1/3, he's out. Just get him out of there. It was 2 1/3 plus of just hit after hit, 6 hits, 6 runs. Get him out of there. Finally, he did get him out of there. And then the bullpen, who I thought was a huge star of this show, they were fantastic from Banks to Ross to Strom to Lazar. Dude, come on. A 1/3 of an inning too much. And then Duran had to come in and get his 21st save of the season. But Aaron Nola, you see the numbers right there. 53 pitches through not even 3 innings of work for Aaron Nola. So long and short of it, not great. Not great for Aaron Nola. Now, the other side of the return today is our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Sure, we could look at Weston Wilson and say, hey, Weston Wilson, great job today putting the Phillies back out in front with your base knock. Way to be there, sir. However, I'm going to go with Alec Bohm, who had the Midas touch today. Now, what do I mean by that? The man comes up here. He hasn't played baseball since just after the All-Star break, which, by the way, revisionist history, you're out all week for the All-Star break. You have this rib injury that you took into the All-Star break. You come out of the All-Star break, you play in the game, and I said this at the time. How are you going on the IL then when they could have retroactived you? Whatever. They could have pushed the injury back to before the All-Star break, so there's less time you're spending missing games. But unfortunately, that's not the way it went. So he comes back today. Your first pitch that you see at the major league level again since your minor league rehab assignment in AAA, you get a fastball, a pitch to hit. He offers it, he swings at it. He hits a bouncer to third base, and House olays it. None of that Olay stuff, Dorn. House misses it. He gets charged with the error. It trickles into left field. Run ends up scoring. The first swing back in the lineup for Alec Bohm, minus touch. You get the run across the plate. You're up 1-0 in favor of the Phillies. You already gave Aaron Nola 1-0. A guy also making the return to say, hey, here's a lead, Aaron Nola. Protect it, please. Then Bohm came up later in that second inning, got the 3-run home run that kind of blew the game wide open there, 6-0 in the second inning. You're feeling, all right, just kick back and relax. Nola hit cruise control. Just give me 5 innings of like 1-run, 2-run baseball, Aaron Nola. Just give me a good start. I don't even need quality. I just need a nice start. Give me a nice start. Let's make that a new stat. An NS for just a nice start by Aaron Nola. But he didn't. All right, so Bohm goes up there. He gets to the 3-run home run. He doesn't get credit for the RBI because the previous run scored on an error. But he comes up there, gets the 3-run home run. You'd love to see that for him. Good for Aaron Nola, or excuse me, good for Alec Bohm in that regard. Then later in the game, he comes up to the plate again. He makes some more magic happen for himself by getting another base knock. And he just looks like the Alec Bohm that you have desperately missed in this lineup. It was great to see him go out there and do his thing, as did a lot of Phillies today on the day. But Bohm goes 2 for 4 on the day, gets 3 RBIs on the 3-run home run. He's hitting 280 on the year. That's all well and good. Now, one of the best things to see on this today, I know we've ripped him. We've been appropriate in calling out his imperfections. Nick Castellanos, nice to see you. Nick Castellanos comes up there, goes 2 for 5 today, including a home run. Great to see that for him. Still, look, you hope that, it's the turning of the corner for him. Phillies look like they are going to be giving him more opportunities with not seeing Justin Crawford called up to the major league level. So you see that happen for Nick Castellanos today. I believe going into the home run, he was 1 for his last 32. 1 for his last 32 in his last 7 or 8 games. So good to see him have the good at bat today, or should be good day today. He was down to the count 0-2 when he hit the home run. He got an 0-2 fastball, and it's like 0-2 fastball, you don't put that there. And it was put out right over the middle of the plate, and Nick Castellanos did not miss it. That made it a 9-6 game. Before that went down, though, in the 6th inning, let's get to our turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
This is where it jumped back into the realm of, okay, the Phillies are going to win this game. They're not going to blow it. They're not going to split, or excuse me, they're not going to lose the series with the Nationals. They're going to split it. Now, splitting it still sucks, okay? I have a big feeling that later in the season, after you face the New York Mets again, and the Mets, 5.5 games back behind the Phillies right now, depending on what they do with the Mariners today. They're playing tonight at 7 o'clock, I believe, in Flushing there. Before the Mariners and Big Dumper himself come to South Philadelphia to take on Kyle Schwarber in a home runoff. We'll see. But Phillies step up there in the 4th inning. It was a tie ball game at this point. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, Aaron Nola, that's where he had all the struggles. That's where he allowed 6 runs to cross the plate in that 3rd inning. 4th inning, let's get something going here. Let's make something happen. Doesn't look great at first. Poland comes into the game, left-handed pitcher. He faces Schwarber. He faces Harper. He gets them out. He gets a foul out of Schwarber. He gets a 3-2 sinker down and in. Bryce Harper goes down. 2 outs in the inning. Alec Bohm gets his 2nd hit of the ball game, so now he's on. They go to Ribalta. Comes out of the bullpen. He starts in the game there. Nick Castellanos gets the ground rule double in the left field corner. I thought luck was not going to be on the Phillies side, because if that ball one-hopped off the top of the wall, for instance, as opposed to one-hopping and then going into the stands, Alec Bohm scores from first. He's going on the pitch. There's 2 outs in the inning already. You're running on contact, Castellanos put that one, a long fly ball. They couldn't get over to get to. Woods couldn't get over to make the play. I think it was Woods out there in left field. And it bounces into the stands. If it doesn't do that, no question in my mind, Bohm scores, and you're talking about a 7-6 ball game in favor of the Phillies. But now you got runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. Bader steps up there. He works a walk on 4 pitches. Okay, maybe Ribalta is up there and he doesn't have his location. So then Weston Wilson comes up to the plate. It's down to him again with 2 outs in the inning. Bases are loaded. Tie ball game in this 4th inning. This right here is the turning point. Weston Wilson delivers a 2-run single to left center field. That brings home Castellanos. That brings home Alec Bohm. You go from a 6-6 ball game to an 8-6 Phillies advantage, just like that. Weston Wilson, thank you so much for the turning point of the game. Phillies are able to add to it with that solo home run from Nick Castellanos in the 6th. By the way, that one was also with 2 outs in the inning after the 2-out lightning there in the 4th inning that the Phillies were able to get. They had a couple of more runs there after the Duke of Pilkington, the governor of Pilkington, had no control whatsoever. Like, I watch every game, obviously, and I watch while I'm watching the game. I have the play-by-play on ESPN.com, and I'm watching the play-by-play. Now, if you've ever seen this, you watch where the balls are located outside the strike zone or inside the strike zone. You know, the one for Trey Turner, I've never seen this. It literally only half the ball was in the frame. That's all they could fit in their frame was half the ball. That's how terrible this pitch was. It was a changeup, very low and inside that it hit Trey Turner, obviously. So Turner takes off to first base there. Schwarber works for a 4-pitch walk. It's first and second, nobody out. Bryce Harper steps up. He gets the RBI single. It's now a 10-6 ball game in favor of the Phils. Alec Bohm that gets plunked in the leg, just below the knee, I think it was. That one was not a changeup. This one was a 94-mile-per-hour fastball that Bohm hit the dirt after just coming back off the IL. He looks back at Pilkington, and he's like, what the hell, man? The plate's over here. Don't blame him at all. So then Bohm reaches. Castellanos strikes out, and then Bader got I think it was a bases loaded sac fly RBI to left field. That made it an 11-6 ball game. And unfortunately, Lazar got hit a little bit later, but everything after the Weston Wilson base knock tended to go the Phillies' way and build up enough of a lead where not even not even this bullpen could blow it by, well, I shouldn't say that. They've been pretty damn good as of late, but you don't want to have to see your closer in a game that you're up 6-0. You don't want to see your closer in a game that you're also up 11-6. And sure enough, Jhoan Duran came into the ball game and they needed him to. So how about that? Phillies get the 11-9 victory, and great to see once again this Phillies lineup come around in this game. 12 hits, 11 runs scored. And you also saw 2 home runs, Bohm and Castellanos, be able to do that for them. Also, 4 different players with multi-hit games. Trey Turner continues to hit. He gets the average up there to 291. Nice to see that north of 290 again. Schwarber had 1 base hit. He also scored 2 runs, an RBI with him as well. And Harrison Bader on the sac fly RBI also got a fine RBI for himself on that sac fly. Weston Wilson's only hit in his 5 at-bats today came on that RBI double, or excuse me, 2-run double, rather. So nice to see that, and Stott got himself a base knock as well. So good to see that with your Philadelphia Phillies. When we come back, we're going to take your comments on this one. I'm going to start from the bottom up again. Also, thank you for your graces yesterday. I couldn't do the postcast yesterday. I was hosting an event for Jason Kelsey, his new movie / commercial short film, Brumate. I think I was saying Brumite. It's Brumate, as in Kumite, as in those people that were so in love with the movie Bloodsport, such as myself, coincidentally, and Jason Kelsey, as well as his producer, Jordan Phoenix, who did a fantastic job with the film as well. Chuck Liddell was there. It was a great event. Thank you, everyone that shot me some well wishes, and I do apologize I couldn't do last night's postcast. Real quick on last night's game, though, on yesterday's game, the 4:05 start time, that was horrible. Phillies had some nice Little League base running in that one. I shouldn't say that either, because you know what? Little League actually know how to run the bases. Phillies with some Keystone Cops, base running blunders. Not great. Not great. I had to be thinking, with Taijuan Walker pitching as well as he's been pitching, are we at the point now where we say this with Taijuan Walker where, well, it's like the bats just go to sleep because Taijuan Walker's pitching, so they feel like they don't have to do much? You know how we say that about, like, really good pitchers? Are we saying that about Taijuan Walker now? No? Okay. Anyway, when we come back, we'll take your comments on this, and also we'll look a little bit more closely at that horrendous 3rd inning by Aaron Nola. Talk about that and more when we return. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast and Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. You guys have heard me talking about Prize Picks before. This particular episode of Locked On Phillies Postcast is brought to you by Prize Picks, the daily fantasy platform that lets you turn your football predictions into real rewards. Preseason is winding down. Got one more left for your birds. And college football isn't that far behind. Whether you've got your eye on big-name quarterbacks or breakout running backs, Prize Picks makes it easy to get in the game. Whether you like Joe Burrow, whether you like Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts. Prize Picks has you covered with all of it. Prize Picks, simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. I've used Prize Picks for a few reasons now and then, and I absolutely love it. It's absolutely simple to use. You just pick more or less, and you have yourself a good time. Download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB. And get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. Prize Picks, run your game. And how about FanDuel? Make yourself some money with FanDuel, especially on August 26th. You have your calendar on you? Huh? You want to open that up real quick? Go ahead and mark it down for the people at FanDuel. August 26th. You don't want to miss it. Why not? It's officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champion before Week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment with FanDuel on August 26th, Futures Day. So take a flyer on the MVP race, maybe parlay a division winner and a dark horse, something like that. Crown your champion in August, like the Eagles, for instance. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. So let's jump into that third inning by Aaron Nola. That, again, if you missed the game, not great. The opposite. Alec Bohm, good day. Good return. Welcome back. Aaron Nola, why don't you take a little bit more time for yourself? So here's the deal. He strikes out. The first 2 innings of this game, I'm trying my best not to get excited. All right? Because it's Aaron Nola. And even when he's at his healthiest and there's no shadow of an injury or anything like that, you're going, yeah, those 2 innings were nice, but do I trust him in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th inning? No, I do not. It feels like that game, that 1 inning's always lurking. And that 1 inning can range from 2 solo home runs to 6 runs across the plate. That's pretty much the range. I went back and I looked at his start against the Cubs, which is his best start of the season. Obviously, a much better opponent than the Cubs. He went 7 innings scoreless, I believe it was. And 92-mile-per-hour fastball, 92-mile-per-hour sinker, knuckle curve, around 86, I think it was. Like, good stuff. Like, typically what you're used to seeing from Aaron Nola. I went back and I looked at his numbers from his, I think he finished 3rd in the Cy Young voting in 2021, 2022. Can't remember exactly when it was. I went back and looked at those numbers before the start as well. 92-mile-per-hour sinker. But one of the biggest differences with that year is that you would actually see him hit 94 with the fastball, maybe 95 with the fastball. But again, that was 3 years ago. So over the last couple of years, I have learned not to expect or think a 94, 95-mile-per-hour fastball from Aaron Nola is ever going to happen again. So with that being said, the numbers from what he did today in the first 2 innings as far as velocity, just from the eye test, looking at the movement on the pitches, the knuckle curve, for instance, that looks like Aaron Nola. The one thing that I think he's really missing, and he did not go to it a lot today at all, was the sinker, the two-seam fastball. The two-seam fastball. One of the things that makes him potent in the rare occurrences, unfortunately, when he's potent, is that sinker just has that great run on it. And he hasn't been able to capture that again. So I'm watching in this 3rd inning. And again, the first couple of innings, things look good. Knuckle curve, he strikes out House on 3 pitches. Like, okay, that's a good start. That's the way to do that. Haselden gets a single. Garcia gets a single. That puts 1st and 3rd with 1 out. He faces Abrams. Abrams gets the RBI single to center field. Then he walks to Young on 4 pitches. And at this point, I'm going, okay, bases loaded, 1 out. Do we have anybody up in the bullpen? Lyle gets the 2-run single to right. Cruz steps up. He gets the 2-run double to left. Still Aaron Nola's pitching for some reason. Tennis steps up there. He gets the RBI double to right field, right center field. It's a 6-5 ball game. Nola then gets taken out of the game. Should be 6-6 ball game. Nola gets taken out of the game. 6 runs, 6 hits in the inning. Banks comes in, closes things down. He faces Milas. He strikes him out on a 3-2 slider. House comes in, grounds out to Bryson Stott, who, by the way, had a phenomenal diving stop there at second base to get this out. Another run would have scored, allowing the Nationals to take a 7-6 lead. But Bryson Stott with some great defense there at second base to help prevent that from happening. But all in all, that inning was absolutely atrocious for Aaron Nola. When I say inning, I mean technically a third of an inning for Aaron Nola. And this is not a very good baseball team. And Aaron Nola allowed 6 runs in a third of an inning. A third of an inning plus, I guess you should say. I have no expectation for Zach Wheeler to pitch again for the Phillies in this calendar year. Taijuan Walker, Jesus Luzardo, Ranger Suarez, Aaron Nola are guys you're going to have to depend on. Christopher Sanchez, obviously, are guys you're going to have to depend on in this lineup or in this rotation. And Nola did not make a strong case for his return. And look, for all the people who say it was his first day back, and hey, if you want to make that excuse for him, if you want to acknowledge that fact that it was his first day back, that's fine. But Aaron Nola has not had a very good season. So before the injury, after the injury, this ain't great. I'm going to go ahead and hope that this was just first day back jitters or whatever you want to call it. But this isn't far off from the Aaron Nola that we've seen on many other occasions so far this year and over the last couple of years. It's unfortunate, but it's also true. All right, let's get to your comments on this one, everybody. I want to see what you guys had to say about this W for the Phils. Buttercup 203, like I tell my kids, toughen up, Buttercup. Buttercup 203. Nola should have been taken out earlier, his first game back. I know his pitch count was low, but the pitch count was low, but the production was not for the Nationals. Marshawn's reaction after a couple of those hits said it all. Missed his spots in the middle of the zone, Seabrook says. Yeah. We were up 6-0. You were up 6-0. Then you were up 11-6. Excuse me. 11-6. Should not need your closer. But yet, there we were. Bandman 100. Some fantastic, if non-flashy defense in the outfield by Bader and Wilson today. I would concur. I'd say that's a good assessment. Richard Hess, who thought Walker would be a starting pitcher in the playoffs? Not me, but now it might go down. I'm like, well, Nola gave you two really good innings. Maybe he could give you like a middle of the. Maybe the way he pitches better in the 4th or 5th innings, in this case, the 3rd inning, maybe he pitches better if those are his first innings. Maybe you flip it. Maybe you have an opener and then he comes in and then somebody else comes in. Whatever limits him pitching, because he's not very good at pitching right now, unfortunately. I can't remember if it was in this comment section or not. Somebody said Nola's contract might be worse than Embiid's. Might not be that far off. Wait a minute. What am I seeing here? Oh, damn. Eagles just made a trade with the Houston Texans for Metke there. Wow. Okay. This is a baseball show. I know that, but compensation. The Texans are swapping day 3 picks with the Eagles, and they get the tight end Harrison Bryant, who the Eagles got this offseason. Oh, that's hilarious. That's a good deal. I like that deal a lot. That's another target there for Jalen Hurts. Obviously. So I'm very happy to see that. I see it in the comments here. People mentioned it. So let's see. How old is Messi now, by the way? 24 years old? Okay. Not bad. That's a nice little trade. Okay, back to baseball. Dion Sorge, what's going on? Crawford should be called up. We need hitters, not home run hitters. I agree with that. Casty still sucks. I agree. Simply Kenobi, great name. listening to this game was like pulling teeth. I really like Kevin Franson. I really liked him when he was with the Phillies. He was a tough guy player. I really love it. But damn, he talks a lot. Like, I've never done play-by-play in baseball. I've never really done play-by-play. But one thing that I would certainly keep in mind in baseball, it would be if I ever did it, one thing I'd have to constantly remind myself as a talker is shut up, let the game breathe. And I feel like Kevin Franson was like, took a pillow and was smothering this game. I was like, good God, man. And T-Mac alluded to it at one point during the broadcast. By the way, how's like the Roku broadcast? T-Mac alluded to it at one point when he said, by the way, everyone on social media is saying, keep talking because when you talk, the Phillies score runs. So how about that? Mark C. Hi, Mark. Hello. With all the anxious moments, we had a Casty sighting. How about that? Jess Patrick, be thankful Walker is getting it done. Evelyn. What's up, Evelyn? Can't believe Nola only went 3. I mean, not even, right? Losing Wheeler for that will probably be wild. Not good. Yeah. Here's the deal. As far as I'm concerned with all that. For this team, now, I still don't think this team is winning a World Series, but I still think this team is going to make the play. This team is making the playoffs. The team, I don't see them winning the World Series. If you're to ask me, if I was asked the question, what does this team need to do to win a World Series? Well, they can still default to having Christopher Sanchez, who's awesome. Taijuan Walker has been great. My point is this. Christopher Sanchez becomes your fixture. Jesus Luzardo has been better. Okay, so that's good. Taijuan Walker's been better too. But my point is this team has to hit. Losing Zach Wheeler is a huge blow. But Zach Wheeler being healthy did not mean that you were going to win the World Series. What still this team was going to need to depend on, what this team still needed to depend on, was hitting. Because the pitching staff didn't scare me. It never scared me. What scares the hell out of me is this team not hitting in the postseason. This team finding a Houston Astros series. This team being shut out by the freaking Nationals is what scares me. What the rotation doesn't scare me. This team won the World Series in 2008 with a lineup that mashed and one great pitcher. Like that goes against the formula. This team had 4 aces and could barely win a playoff game. Like it's a wild thing. This team has to hit. This team has to hit. I have confidence in if you have Sanchez, if you have Sanchez and you have Luzardo, Suarez, or Walker pitching for you in the postseason, and the way the bullpen's constructed now, yeah, I think that's going to be pretty good. If you hit, that's my main concern. Still is. With or without Zach Wheeler, that's still my main concern. And I said that before the Wheeler news was announced, and I'm saying it again after. I will say maybe with Wheeler being out, you have to hit a little bit more. So maybe that's a little harder. Payman 100. Harrison Bader looks like a generic action figure. You know, I had been calling him Starburst because he looks like a Starburst. Like when he's at the plate, he looks like a Starburst. All that stuff. But he more looks like, what was that? Bubblicious? That's what he looks like. A pack of Bubblicious. Tropical Bubblicious. That's what he looks like. Mark K, great to have Bohm back. I agree. Ooh, Joseph Grillo. Blasty. Off the schneid. Still hasn't walked in August. How about that? Morgan Landy. Hello. It is sad that Nola couldn't even make it to 3 innings today with Wheeler on the IL. Now, I agree. That's the number one thing. But again, yes, nice to have Bohm back. I saw Joel in here. I always get Joel in here. I don't want to. Joel, I really didn't expect the Nationals to give the Phillies so many problems in this series. Sweep the Rangers, split the Nationals, baseball. Exactly. But now you have a interesting setup here for the next 3 games as the Phillies come back from their road trip, 10-game road trip. And they're going to go on and take on the Seattle Mariners right now, who have a game tonight, 7 o'clock, with the New York Metropolitans. The Mariners are a game and a half back behind the Houston Astros in the American League West. That's where they're at right now. And, of course, we all know big dumper himself, Cal Raleigh, will be back at Citizens Bank Park, and he'll be taking on none other than Kyle Schwarber himself. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great, as per usual. Joseph highlighting the 3 innings. Yeah, just to make sure I got it right. It's still his first outing. Okay, let's hope that it's just the first outing. Joe Brennan Casty had 2 huge hits and hit 3 bullets today. There we go. Let's hope that happened. Brian Pumper, hello. Oh, you go there with the Darius Cooper might be cooked. You're right. You're absolutely right. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great, as per usual. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day with the Locked On Phillies daily podcast. I got you covered each and every night with your Locked On Phillies postcasts. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. I will catch you guys tomorrow night after Game 1 of Phillies and Mariners. See you guys then. Have a great day. Bye.